Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 23 of Breaking Through Your Brick Walls. This is the live podcast where you get to meet successful business owners, receive a glimpse of life behind the scenes with them, along with some of the struggles that they've had and overcome. It's just a place we hang out to be authentic and share a piece of real life with you. So today I am talking with Nicole. She's a licensed attorney in California. She has her own law firm as well as an online business. She provides custom contracts and policies for businesses located or incorporated in California, but she also offers legal templates for U.S.-based businesses to take the expense and overwhelm out of the process for them. My name is Pamela Lewerenz, lovingly dubbed the Brick Wall Coach. I'm a productivity coach and a workday strategist that works with solopreneurs and freelancers to take them from overwhelmed and burned out to organized and thriving. So I'm so excited to be talking with Nicole today. Welcome, Nicole.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Yeah, me too. So, all right, we've already had a little snafu. I came in and I was muted, and we have some kind of unstable internet connection going on today, but we are going to try our best to be troopers and get through this.
Technology, you gotta love it.
You have to love this. So why don't we start out with having you tell us a little bit more about you, really the face behind the name of your business.
Yeah, so for those of you who I have not met before, I am Nicole Sheree Oden, as Pamela introduced. I am a licensed attorney in California, and I have been practicing for 8 years now. So I was kind of just grinding and hustling at a big law firm. I was there for 4.5 years, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and everything just kind of flipped upside down. And I love the law. I love what I do, but I also knew that those 12 to 14-hour days in that big law firm environment just didn't jive with the 3-month-old at home. So I was just really trying to figure out how I could continue to balance the job and the career that I love with being a mom. And so I ended up kind of chatting with a couple of other female attorneys who were actually like opposing counsel on the other side of a lot of my cases. And they'd actually become like good friends because I respected the fact that they were moms and they were running their businesses and kind of seemingly juggling it all. And resoundingly, most of them said, go out on your own, like build a business the way that you want the business to be run. And it just felt like that permission because it was kind of this dream that I had. And I just, in the back of my mind, thought it wasn't something that I could do. Like that was them. This is me. So it really did just feel like permission. And so I was like, okay, well, let's try this. And I've had my firm now for over 3 years. And
yeah, look at
amazing.
that. Just a little thing you were going to try.
Yeah, just tried it.
And it's working out really well, I think, from conversations that we've had.
Yeah, it's been amazing because I've been able to, I basically have 2 businesses. I have my law firm and then I also have an online business, and I branched out into the online space about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago. So it's been a journey.
Good. So tell us about your ideal client. Like, who do you like to work with and why do you like to work with them?
Yeah, so my ideal client really is somebody who has an online business and is a solopreneur. So similar to your client base, somebody who doesn't necessarily have employees, but they may be working with independent contractors. And they know that they need to have their legal protections in place to protect their bonds. They just have no idea where to start. Most people, when they hear the word legal or, lawyer or attorney, they just get this kind of vision in their head. It's overwhelming, it's expensive, it's scary. And I like to say that I'm the complete opposite of that. I like to make legal affordable and accessible. Like those are my key tenets for my online business because I really do feel that without a solid legal foundation, your business is just not going to go as far as it could, and you're not protecting that legacy that you're trying to build. So I really, if anything, try and get my message out there. If you don't work with me, work with an attorney. Just get those basic protections in place. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
Now, do you find that a lot of people will just be, oh, I'm opening an online business and like skip over some of these steps like these legal templates?
Yeah. So the barrier to entry is so small now. It's so easy to start a business in the online space. A lot of people, they just kind of hang their shingle and away they go. And they don't look at those foundational practices that they need to have in place. And legal really is one of them. And so I found that a lot of people take a shortcut. They'll either cut and paste from Google or they'll cut and paste from a friend, and they don't stop to think about how that's actually harming them in the long run. So you really do have
needing it to be specific, like to your business, your line of work.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make sure it's covering you. You want to make sure there's protections in there that are addressing your specific business. You want to make sure there's provisions that aren't actually harming you. There could be things in there that don't even apply to you, or, protections that you may not want to handle them a certain way. Case in point, like having a dispute resolution provision in your contracts and your policies. If you cut and paste it from somebody else, it could have a provision in there that's like a different state. Right. And then guess what? You're stuck having to handle disputes in this other state because that's what the contract says. So It's just those kind of little things that having that third party licensed attorney who can come in and issue spot for you and help you get it drafted, it's so imperative to your business.
So for freelancers or for these solopreneurs that are running an online business, what templates should they be looking at having? What kind of legal forms?
Yeah, so it really depends what type of business you have, but bare bones, the most important in my eyes is your client agreement. You want to protect your income. That's like the main stream of income for your business is probably working with clients, whether you're a coach, whether you're a VA or an OBM. You want to make sure you have something that basically lays out the roadmap for your relationships with you and your client.
Okay. All right. And then like on your websites, your privacy policy and all those types of things, that's probably like a second piece to look into.
Yeah, especially if you're in the online space, I think you have to have a privacy policy. It's legally required. There's no way that you can get around that. It's required by California law. It's required by the European Union. You have to have one. It's just, you can't get around it. Having terms and conditions in place for your website, I think, is also key. Those are not legally required, but they are always the first place a court's going to look to if an issue arises. So it really does, again, lay out that groundwork, that framework for your interactions with your website users and viewers. And then also if you sell some sort of product, so whether you have an online membership or an e-course or some sort of downloadable, like the legal templates on my website, you want to make sure you have terms of use. And that's actually a contract. When your customers going through the process of purchasing, they have to say they agree to it at time of checkout, and then it becomes binding. So if they, let's say they want a refund, or let's say they have some sort of other question about how they can use the materials, that terms of use contract is going to lay out the provisions that govern.
Okay. All right. And an area I'm thinking of, because this is such an up and coming thing, like affiliate links that people are sharing all the time. It's great. I mean, it's a great source of income, but I think there needs to be another step in there.
Yeah. So if you are, whether you are an affiliate for somebody else's program or you have your own affiliate program, you have to disclose, like it's required by the FTC, first of all. If there's any material connection between a link you're sharing and you, that means if you're getting some sort of financial kickback, if you're getting free products, if you're getting whatever it may be, you have to disclose that. So that's key. That's paramount. And you really should have terms of use for your affiliate program if you have your own program. So that's kind of the rules of the road for your affiliates in terms of how they can share your products, how they can talk about it. And in your terms and conditions for your website, there's actually a provision that would be included that talks about how the affiliate links that you share, you basically recommend things that, you think would be helpful, but you're not guaranteeing that there's going to be any sort of positive outcome from the use of that product. Because we've all seen, you go to a website, you click on a link, and let's say you have a not so stellar experience. The customer service stinks, or, the product doesn't work the way that they say it does. You just don't have a good experience. You want to make sure that you're kind of disclaiming that liability. It's not on you. It's the third party that they purchased the product from.
Good. Good advice. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about a particular struggle or a hurdle that you had to jump over when you came into running your own business, into the online space, both of those.
Yeah, for me, it was really just enjoying the journey. Like I've always been a person that I set a goal, I accomplish. I set a goal, I accomplish. And it was that, I was just a machine. That's how I was working. That's how I was building my way up in my firm. And I just wasn't really sitting back and appreciating how far I had come and all of the things I had accomplished. And I think having my daughter really flipped that on its head. I really had to take a step back and look at all of the personal growth that I'd accomplished, all of the career growth. And that's something I really want to model for her. I want her to appreciate the process because I don't want to have her get to the point one day where she's kind of accomplished and she looks back and it's like, for what? So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really what this all is. The entrepreneurial journey is a process. And
mm-hmm.
for some, it kind of speeds along, and for others, it chugs along. And there's things you have to hop over, things you have to get through, but you're all working towards, whatever your definition of success would be. So do you think you have reached that plateau of success? Are you where you want to be, or are you still striving for other things in your business?
I'm successful, but I think I'm always going to have like something else I'm shooting for just because that's who I am as a person. So I do, like, one of my biggest practices is I wake up every single morning and just say thank you. Like, to me, I have to be grounded and I have to appreciate where I am. But I think you can appreciate where you are and still have bigger dreams and bigger goals you're chasing. So
yeah, definitely. I know that was so helpful to me when I put that just into my life in general, just making sure I get up every morning and show that gratitude. And then the same thing, at night, either my husband and I eating dinner together or when we get ready to go to bed, we both have this thing of just, okay, what was one really good thing that happened today? What are we the most grateful for out of what this day provided for us? And that's an important piece that takes you 30 seconds, but a lot of people overlook that too. And that really helps you. I think overall in your life, I think that helps you.
Yeah. And I think it just helps you go to bed in such a different state of mind, especially when you've had a really rough day. Sometimes it's hard to shake like those, like we all have them as business owners. It's inevitable. But when you can just kind of take a deep breath and just think about, I have a roof over my head. I have food in the fridge. I have a family that loves me, whatever it may be. It just really does kind of, I think, rechange your thinking and let you have a much better night's sleep.
Yeah, it puts everything into perspective. I mean, we all have years or time periods that aren't the greatest. So it's nice sometimes to think about what we do have right now compared to another time in our life.
Yeah, agree.
So what, or can you share with us someone who's been really influential in your life?
Yeah, so one of the female attorneys who was opposing counsel at my old firm, I consider her a friend, but I actually do contract work for her. And she has her own firm and she is like a little mogul in her own sense. I mean, she's running real estate properties. She does news appearances. She has 2 little girls that she has, time to get them to like Chinese lessons and dance class. And I just look up to her so much because I just feel like she's got all of these plates in the air and she's spinning them so successfully. And so it's nice sometimes because we just text back and forth. And so I'll get a text from her and she's like, today was just a shit show. And it's like so reaffirming that.
Yay.
Yeah.
Everything isn't all rosy in your world.
But it's so nice to have this role model that I can look up to and really aspire to and just see she's human. And we all have those days. And as perfect as everything looks on the outside and on social media, it's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
So,
social media can do that to your life, can it?
Yes.
You kind of look at it and you either think, wow, that comparison of they're there and I'm here and how the heck am I going to get there, to some of these like really influential people's status, or it can be turned around the other way. You can read some of these posts and think, oh my gosh, I feel so lucky to be me and where I am. It's
Yeah.
just kind of that roller coaster that sucks you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does. And that's been kind of one of my biggest things in 2019 has really been to take a step back from social media and view it more as a business tool and a relationship builder. So that's kind of, for me, when I'm really focused on building connections with people and really getting to know them on a one-on-one level versus like that mindless scroll that I think we get sucked into.
Right.
So if I catch myself, I'll give myself like 5 minutes and that's it. I have to like disconnect.
Yeah. I don't want to get sucked in. Same thing. And it's easier, I think, to use those platforms as that relationship builder and then start the conversation, but take it off of the platform because remember, those platforms don't belong to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could wake up tomorrow and Facebook and Instagram could be gone. And then where are you going to be?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you talked about your friend. And so what does your typical day look like?
It depends if I have court. But
that's a whole nother ball of wax.
Yes,
huh?
Yes. So I'm an early bird. Like I just am. Morning routine is sacred for me. That's just something if I'm not getting my morning routine in, which happens sometimes because, surprise, my daughter is an early bird, just like I am. So it can throw my day off. But that really, it centers me. Just taking that kind of like half an hour to an hour I meditate, I journal, I do my gratitude practice, and just really center myself. And then I kind of launch into checking email and kind of dealing with any burning fires that might be going on in my online business. Then I switch gears and I'm doing firm stuff probably for 5 to 6 hours, depending on what I have going on, if it's drafting, if it's client meetings, phone calls, and I try and intersperse stuff for my online business in there as well. And then I try and wind down by like 5 at the latest so that I can actually eat dinner with my family.
Nice.
Nice. We have dinner together every single night. I like doing kind of bath time. We read a story with and then if I am not too exhausted, I will stay up and work another hour or two, depending. Otherwise, I normally just am trying to go to bed by like 9. So,
well, I mean, you're still juggling two full-time businesses in between being a wife and a mother and a friend. And I mean, it can be super hectic if you don't put those boundaries in there.
Yeah. And I live by my
save
calendar.
That space for yourself. Yeah. Me too. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, yeah, thanks for sending that to me on Messenger. But if it's not in my calendar, it's not going to happen. It's like the calendar is my Bible.
Yes. Well, and especially because I am juggling so much. So I have my firm calendar with all my court appearances, my filing deadlines, my due dates. I've got my online business with like drafting deadlines for clients for contracts and policies, and if I'm doing contract checkups or whatever I'm doing, and things like this, like podcast appearances, or if I'm drafting a guest blog. But I have M's calendar and all of her school events and my husband's work calendar, and if he has meetings. And so it's like, if it's not on the calendar, I am lost.
Yeah. Oh, I can absolutely see that. Oh my gosh. These businesses can be all consuming if you let them, and we really, I think that's a good message to give people is don't let it become all consuming. Even if it's your one and only business and your one and only focus, there's other things in life besides just running a business.
Yeah. And I like to be transparent. I love sharing about work-life balance. It's part of the blog on my website. That's kind of a passion project. I like writing that. But there was a time last year where it was like a Saturday and I was on my phone, like responding to emails, and Em came up to me and she was just kind of standing in front of me and I was just emailing, and all of a sudden I hear her, "Mommy, get off your phone." And that just crushed me. So I really do try and like make a conscious effort to unplug when we're having dedicated family time. But it's hard. I mean, those lines blur. If I've got free time and I've got stuff going on, I'm like, okay, but I could be getting this done in my business.
I do the same thing. Like I try to be really conscious about the time that I spend. I'd like to say I wind down and then that's it. And the evening is just for me, but it isn't always that way. I mean, like tonight, I've got a webinar presentation and that doesn't even start until 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to have a little give with some of it, but for the most part saying I start here and end here, and then maybe have 1 or 2 nights that you go back and have some evening hours or get things done, but not making it that habit that
Yes,
you finish supper and then you hop back on the computer or on your phone and try to get things done while the rest of life is happening.
exactly.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, a couple of fun questions. What is one of your favorite books or favorite podcasts?
So for me, I love Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod because it basically started my personal development journey. That was the first personal development book I read, and it's such an easy read. But I mean, I'm still doing my morning routine here 2.5 years later, and it's so instrumental for me. So I always recommend that.
Good, good. I like that one. And what do you do in your spare time? When you're not running your 2 businesses, how do you spend your fun time?
I love to read. I am a nerd, self-professed. And I do love personal development books, but I also like fiction, like something that's just going to take me away for a little while. I like to read just at least like a little bit before going to bed. It just helps me kind of clear my mind. So yeah, reading's a big thing for me. And my family and I love the beach. So that's like our happy place for my little family. So if it's summertime, we are at the beach, kind of one of the best things about living in Southern California.
I know. It's nice when you're in those warmer climates because the beach can become part of that fun time, that routine. I mean, even year round.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not swimming off season, but you're definitely still at the beach and it can offer so much off season.
Yes, yes. We actually spend every Christmas Eve at the beach. So
nice.
Yeah, my husband's grandfather
Nice tradition.
Yeah, he has a house on the beach. So that's just kind of where we all gather. And so.
I love it. I love it. So as we go to wrap up, I'm going to ask you what I ask every guest. What kind of words of wisdom do you want to share with the listeners?
Just appreciate the journey. Like, I know we all want to be there. We want to have achieved. We want to have, reach that goal and, have that income level and be this amazing superstar. And that's great. And that's a good goal to have. But like you said, like we're going to miss all of the journey. We're going to miss our life. We're going to miss everything that's going on. And you don't want to look back one day and just be like, holy crap, what happened? I missed it all.
Exactly. Which is where I was kind of stuck for a while, but now I'm not. I finally got over it. But I think you have periods in your life that are like that. And you have to like snap out of it, snap yourself out of it and say, okay, it can't continue like this. I have to enjoy life at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing and being a guest today, Nicole. I appreciate it.
This was fun. I always love chatting with you. So thanks for inviting me.
Oh, good. And I want to say thank you to everybody else who joined us for another episode of Breaking Through Your Brick Walls. So this is the last episode for 2019. So I want to wish everybody a really wonderful holiday season. And just a little side note, starting in January, my podcast is going to be airing on YouTube weekly. So I hope you're going to follow along with that. My goal is that it becomes a weekly way for you to get inspired, to learn something new, and to break through any of the brick walls that you're experiencing. So remember, every day is a good day. You're amazing. Don't forget it. See you soon.